Oh,
Yeah.
are they? He was worried that his was.
Mine looked so yellow last night on the TV, Mom. It was awful.
Is that right, Jim?
I had a white shirt on.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do about it? You're going to get them colored.
Yes, when I get enough money.
Yeah, when you get the money, right?
Well, somebody says if you use baking soda on them, they'll take
Hi.
away the yellowness.
I have a nice close-up of you.
Yeah, wait, I get some chewing gum for my teeth. Anyway, this young girl, Irene Pappas, a young woman, decided to accept the Orthodox faith, and she was Lutheran before.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her.
In 69, 70, January 70, she accepted the faith, and we had. It wasn't a baptism like putting her into the font, although some of the priests in the past have done that. They've taken grown-up people and put them in the font.
That's ridiculous.
Do they have to strip down, or?
Bathing suit.
I was going to say, that would be embarrassing.
That's funny.
Oh, gosh.
What was I going to say?
What?
If you want to sit down, it might be easier.
That's it. Those three.
My cousin, Mike, my cousin Maria?
Yeah.
She, baptized my nephew Jimmy.
Oh, really? So she's the... Oh,
she's
good.
Jimmy's godmother.
Oh, that's good. See, that's good, too, in the sense that
Yeah.
is that what it's going towards now? You're mentioning the more of the family
Yeah,
is
and
doing
son George baptized a little girl, Kristen.
Oh, really? Oh, that's nice.
Oh, yeah, it was over Christmas time, so we had a real nice time.
Has Jim become a godparent
No,
yet?
not yet.
No one's asked me.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm supposed to ask someone.
Yeah, right.
I'll wait till Maria and Scott have a child.
Well, I don't know if they would accept you since you're not Catholic.
I don't think they never talk about having godparents or.
They never talk about having kids.
I know, but I mean, her family, her parents
Yeah, but
don't.
they're Catholic, and they
The
would.
Catholics
Aren't
do
they
it?
Catholic?
Yeah, they're Catholic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they
They're
both are.
godparents.
But I mean, but does all of Catholicism have that? Okay, because
Sure.
that's one thing I never hear them.
Yeah, they have godparents, but they don't go elaborate as we do with baptisms. You know,
Yeah.
A godfather outfits or godmother outfits the child from head to toe. Buys a blanket, a sheet, towels, soap, olive oil, you know, a cross, coat, hat, sweater, outfit, 2 outfits, shoes, socks, you know.
I hope no one ever asks me then.
So let me ask you, because when you were younger, like I guess when you were our age, and you know, and you had your own neighborhood, you know, like they all would, and you know everybody in your neighborhood, were there like stores that would actually almost cater to like outfits for, you know, like you would go in and you would say, oh, I have my godchild, the storekeeper knows you, and she's like, oh, we have, okay.
No, because I lived most of my life I lived on Atwood Street. And then we moved to Dawson Street. And from Dawson I was married. And of course that was, Dawson Street was all residential. Except for the corner of Atwood and Dawson, there was a drugstore. Really, I don't know of any other businesses along Dawson Street. Atwood Street, it was different. From, I'd say from Louisa, which is about the middle of Atwood Street. Down further towards Bay Street, there were businesses. But they were like restaurants or little grocery stores, plumbers. Years back, there used to be a hardware store, Mr. Krieger. And
did he move to Krieger? We had a Krieger used to live next door to us. I think.
Really?
He moved out before you guys moved in.
Oh, I don't know.
On Marbury?
The same
Yeah,
family.
next door were the Kaplans. I don't even know the names of the people who live
You
next
live
door.
there now.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Does Saks still live on the other side?
Yeah.
I used to love to walk into a store, and, you know, the floors were all wooden in those. And the 5 and 10s all had wooden floors.
Yeah.
And it was fascinating to walk into the store. There would be beauty shops on Atwood Street. Years back, where the post office is on Atwood Street used to be.
Oh, I know. That's Maria lived like right off of Atwood, didn't she?
Maria lived on Parkview.
Yeah, but wasn't Parkview right off Atwood?
No, Parkview's off the boulevard.
Okay, but isn't
It's
Atwood...
Parkway's closer to Parkview is closer to Dawson than to Atwood.
Where did she live her freshman year, like with Patty Fales?
Oh, she lived on what's the one on the other side of Dawson, Mom? That open pantry's on.
Ward?
Ward, yeah, she lived on Ward.
Wasn't Ward? Don't you walk Atwood intersects Forbes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right where the Blimpies is.
Right.
Okay.
No, it's up further.
Okay, it's up further.
It's closer to the cathedral. There's an orange light on in here, Mike. Does that mean anything?
It means low light. It's the sun kind of.
Should I turn it off?
You can't. Don't turn on the lights in here because it's set for outdoor light.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
But Atwood's, it's 5th Avenue. Atwood ends at 5th Avenue.
Mhm.
Then you come down to Forbes Street.
Mhm.
Then you go down a little further and it's Senate. Have
Oh,
you ever
yeah.
heard of the Decade? The Decade Bar in, have you ever heard of it?
No.
Years ago it was the Atwood Gardens.
Mhm.
And across from there was where the post office is now. It used to be Stables.
I know where the post office is, an old post office with those like institution glass brick. Yeah,
Right,
I know, and it has like one of those old plaques for some post office number, whatever.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
okay, I
Now
know.
that used to be a Shenley Park Stables.
Oh, horses.
Horses.
Really?
When I was a little girl.
Uh-huh.
Where we would see the people, dressed up in their habits and all, and they'd be riding through
Mhm.
Shenley Park. There were trails then,
I know what he's doing.
What?
he was zooming in on the picture of you.
Oh, jeez.
You weren't supposed to say that, Mike. I was trying to be artistic.
I'm sorry. But I knew. It was just so funny that I knew it was a joke. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God. Do I love this one?
You're great, Mom.
Yeah.
You look wonderful. That was such a college thing to say.
Give me some chewing gum so I can cover my teeth. Anyway, next to the stables, there used to be a big empty lot with a big house right in the middle.
Mhm.
And then they tore that down, and then Giant Eagle went in there, and a bunch of storerooms,
Uh-huh.
and then a parking area.
Giant Eagle's not there anymore, I don't think.
No, for a while it was George Aiken. I don't know what's there now.
Yeah.
And then across the street from the stables used to be a bakery. And oh my God, you could smell the oatmeal cookies miles away. And oh boy, were they good. And then they'd have pretzels.
Mhm.
And we would leave Frick school, and sometimes we would go home before we went to Greek school. So we'd go home, and we'd get some money, and we'd stop and we'd get a bag of pretzels for 5 cents.
Yeah.
Big bag, and we'd walk along where Forbes Field is, used to be.
Mhm.
Then through the park and over to Greek school.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Did you go with your sister or?
No, Mitzi. No,
Yeah.
she was younger than
Yeah.
I was. She was 2.5 years younger than I. I had 3 girlfriends, and we were always like we were always together.
Yeah.
The one girlfriend in particular, I was always. Then there were 2 fellas who, this Tony Potus was one, and Jimmy Egerfieldis was another one. And well, we'd be a whole big gang, you know.
Yeah.
They'd come up from home school. That was in the southern part of Oakland.
From what school?
Holmes. That was on Dawson Street. On
Is
the
that a
other
public
side
school?
Of the boulevard, yeah. And a friend of mine that I went to school with from kindergarten through 12th grade is the kindergarten teacher there at home school.
Oh, really?
Her name's Audrey Laird Stafford, and she's going to...
Laird.
Laird.
L-A-I-R-D? Oh. They have an account with us at Orr's.
Yeah, is that right?
Well, that name has an account at Orr's. I don't know if it's... Audrey Laird?
Yeah, Audrey Laird.
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
She, a short time ago, I had been up to Statlanders to get some tens for Babu. And while I was waiting there, this girl walks in, this woman walks in, and she stands next to me, and I go, Audrey Laird! And I start hugging her. She says, well, that's all well and good. She said, I'd like to know who's hugging me. She didn't recognize me. So anyway, she had just had her tonsils out, I think.
Oh, wow. What about, I remember a long time ago you had, when it was at Jim's, when he turned 11, his birthday party, you had mentioned that you had a friend who had died when you were 11 years old.
Oh, Seema Gilbert.
Oh, Mike, your memory is incredible.
She was 10 years old when I was 10.
Yeah.
Seema was just a little older than I.
Yeah.
And I often thought that I never resolved her death, you know, because I didn't see her dead.
Yeah.
I don't know where she was buried. In fact, I had called a synagogue to find out. I would like to know where her grave is.
That must have been really sad. I never had a friend who...
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, she was like your best friend.
My best friend.
She died of a disease?
She died of leukemia.
Leukemia. Wow.
And, you know, all I remember is I was allowed to go into her home after she was ill, you know, but I was not allowed to sit on the bed. And I went to touch her, and she was oh God, she let out a yell, you know. That's my last recollection of Seema Gilbert. I don't remember what she looked like now, you know. I don't have a picture in my mind.
You don't remember what she looked like? Really?
No, and we've never had any pictures taken of her.
Yeah, well, I can understand that. It's. I know that there's certain friends that I have trouble remembering what they. I mean, try to think of what Eric looked like when we were in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Well, I can remember because I've seen pictures.
Yeah, so you know, but even so, I mean, I would think of Eric recently and not.
Yeah, because Eric did look different back then.
Exactly.
His hair was straighter.
Yeah.
And he had those glasses with like the flat top.
Yeah. When Seema died, I don't remember how I heard of it.
Did you know she was going to die, or?
Well, I feel, you know,
yeah.
They were more or less saying at the time, I guess.
How long was she ill?
Well, I don't know how long it was, but I remember going to school and I was crying. And this one boy who lived up the street was making fun of me, you know, because boys don't, you know, at that time boys never showed any emotion that way. But Seema and I used to sit on the front porch and we would have cigar boxes. And we would cut up movie stars, you know, and we would trade. And then we would play fish. And we would pretend theaters in the backyard. Yeah. You know. But it was just like she just faded away, and I don't know why, you know, why I didn't go to the funeral, why. Strange that I wouldn't go to the funeral.
Well, were your parents friends?
No, they were neighbors, but they weren't close.
Well, that would probably be what, probably you didn't even know about. You may have known about funerals, but it's like that's something the parents would have.
Oh, I knew about funerals, because from age 4, I was going to funerals.
Yeah.
In '33, my mother's first cousins, my mother's uncle died. And his name was Spiro Contis. And he died in the home. And then they laid him out in the home. And I was there. I don't remember him laid out. I remember before he died, I remember him taking us for a ride, for a walk. He wasn't feeling well, and he took his son Jimmy, his daughter Marion, and myself, and we walked along. They lived at the corner of Selwyn and Elysian Street in Point Breeze. And we walked along Selwyn, and right at the Beechwood Boulevard, you remember where Mellon's Park is? Mellon's used to live there.
Yeah.
You know? Well, there was, right there at Beechwood and, forget the other name of the other street. It's not Gettysburg.
Hastings?
It's not Hastings, no. But anyway, there's a triangular grass plot. And in those years, they had benches there. So we went there.
Reynolds?
To read the newspaper. Yeah, probably Reynolds. He was reading the newspaper and we were playing. I was remembering this with my cousin Jimmy last week when he called me about my dad, and he said that we were picking flowers in those. And then in '35, 35, Jimmy's godfather's father died, and he was very close to us.
Yeah.
And then we had a couple who died within 6 months.
Wow.
I think the wife died first, and then the father died.
Mm.
And you know Chris Capitas? Have you ever heard of Chris Capitas, who's assistant district attorney with Coville?
Not really, no.
Well, Chris Capitas' cousin, father and mother.
Leave it on. Okay. Yeah, now it's on.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Mike.
It was good seeing you, Mrs. Athens.
Good to see you too.
Okay.
Back soon.
Okay.
All right,
Bye-bye.
with you tonight.